You know, if you've looked for a job recently, you've probably felt it. Something just feels off, broken even. The headlines are all over the place, right? One minute it's an AI-powered utopia, the next it's mass unemployment. It's tough to figure out what's actually going on. So let's get real about it. Because the job market isn't just changing, it's being completely rewired by artificial intelligence.
And this isn't just a hunch. The data is, well, pretty shocking. Just since the beginning of 2024, we've seen the number of entry-level jobs just plummet by almost a third. Think about that. That first step, that first rung on the career ladder that generations of people have counted on, it's literally vanishing right in front of us.
So this all boils down to one huge question we need to tackle. Is this just a temporary blip, or is AI actually breaking the entire system of how we build our careers for good? To get to the bottom of that, we've got to look past the hype and really dig into the forces that are reshaping our whole economy.
Okay, let's start with that feeling of anxiety, especially if you're a recent grad or trying to switch careers. It is not just in your head. What we're seeing is the systematic removal of those traditional entry points. We're calling it the vanishing first step.
And look, this isn't just happening in some niche tech field. It's everywhere. This chart says it all. Entry-level marketing gigs, down over 75%. Human resources, down 72%. Even finance is down 63%. We're talking about the absolute core pillars of the white-collar world here.
What's really being lost here isn't just the jobs themselves. It's the whole way we learn on the job. You know the classic model, right? Especially in places like law or engineering. Juniors come in, they handle the quote-unquote grunt work, reviewing documents, doing basic analysis, and that's how they learn the ropes. Well, it turns out AI is getting incredibly good at doing exactly that kind of work. And here's the real kicker. The biggest long-term danger is actually for the companies themselves. They're cutting these junior roles to save a few bucks today, but in doing so, they're completely severing their own pipeline for future leaders. It's like a textbook case of prioritizing short-term gains over any kind of long-term sustainable plan.
But wait, the problem gets even worse. Because even for the jobs that are still out there, the process of actually getting hired feels like shouting into a black hole. Which brings us to part 2 of this whole mess, the broken hiring machine. Have you ever applied for a job, poured your heart into the application, and then just crickets? You're left wondering, was that even a real job? Well, it might not have been. Welcome to the bizarre world of ghost jobs. These are job ads that companies post with zero intention of actually filling them. They do it to make it look like they're growing, or just to collect a big pile of resumes for some rainy day.
And get this isn't some rare, shady practice. A jaw-dropping 93% of HR professionals admit they do this. 93%! It's become a nearly universal source of frustration that wastes the time, energy, and hope of millions of people.
And on top of all that, the whole process just takes forever. By 2025, the average time to hire someone stretched to 44 days. That's a month and a half of pure uncertainty, endless interview rounds, and just radio silence. All for a job that, again, might not even be real to begin with.
And this is where things get really contradictory with AI in hiring. I mean, look at this paradox. On one hand, companies are falling over themselves to adopt it. 83% use AI just to screen resumes. But on the other hand, nobody seems to trust it. 2/3 of those same companies admit they're worried about bias in the system, and at the same time, 2/3 of candidates say they'd actively avoid applying to a job if they knew it used AI. It's a total and complete breakdown of trust.
Okay, I know. The picture so far is pretty bleak, but this isn't just a story about destruction. It's a story of transformation, and that brings us to the most important part of this whole thing, the new AI-powered workplace. This is where the conversation shifts from jobs being eliminated to jobs being totally redefined.
Check out this quote from Professor Michael Wade, because it absolutely nails what's coming next. He talks about AI-native departments, where 40 to 60% of the day-to-day stuff is just handled autonomously by AI. It's not just a tool you open on your computer anymore, it becomes the actual backbone of how work gets done.
So, what does that actually look like? Well, take your average HR professional. Before AI, their day was swamped with administrative stuff, right? Screening resumes, scheduling interviews, all that paperwork. Now, after AI automates all of that, their job gets elevated. They get to focus on the truly human skills, coaching employees, mediating conflicts, and actively shaping the company's culture.
Basically, the machine handles the paperwork so the human can handle the people.
And you know what? This massive shift is creating whole new career paths that just a few years ago sounded like they were straight out of a science fiction movie. Roles like AI whisperer, prompt engineer, AI ethics specialist. These jobs literally didn't exist in 2020, and today, they're some of the most in-demand roles on the entire market. And the value that the market is putting on these new skills, it's just staggering. The AI company Anthropic recently posted a job for a prompt engineer with a salary that goes up to $335,000. And that's not for someone with a PhD in computer science, it's for someone who is simply an expert at talking to an AI. So what's the big takeaway from all this? As the work itself changes, the way we qualify for that work has to change too. It's no longer just about your degree. Welcome to the skills-based arms race, where being able to adapt is the only currency that really matters.
So, what's the incentive to actually adapt? How about a 43% pay raise? Yeah, you heard that right. Research is showing that workers who add AI skills to their toolkit are earning, on average, 43% more than their colleagues in the exact same role. That's not just a small bump, that is a massive competitive advantage.
And here's some really good news coming out of all this chaos. This shift is finally starting to break what's called the paper ceiling. That's that invisible barrier, where a 4-year college degree was the only ticket to a good career. More and more employers are finally waking up and realizing that what you can do is so much more important than where you went to school.
And if you need proof, just look at the data on these so-called micro-credentials. It's incredible. 92% of employers said they would actually hire a less experienced candidate with an AI credential over a more experienced one who didn't. And for people just starting out, this stuff leads to real results, a 28% pay increase and a 21% faster promotion rate.
This all leads us to the most critical part of the conversation. How do we take control of this moment and actively redesign our future of work? Because the future isn't just something that happens to us, it's something we have to build together.
Okay, so how do we do it? Well, everyone has a part to play. For us as individuals, it means we have to embrace lifelong learning and double down on those uniquely human skills like creativity and critical thinking. For companies, they have to step up. They need to reinvest in that first-rung training and create modern apprenticeships to grow their talent from within. And for our policymakers, their job is to modernize the support systems and create real incentives that help everyone navigate this massive shift.
I absolutely love this quote because it just perfectly captures the real spirit of this revolution. It's not about humans versus machines. It was never about that. It's about humans with machines. The goal isn't replacement, it's augmentation. The people who are going to be the most successful in this new world are the ones who learn how to use AI as their most powerful partner. So, if you remember one thing, remember this. AI is a tool. It's not our destiny. Yes, it has the power to displace and divide, but it also has the power to augment and empower every single one of us. The future of work is being written as we speak, by the choices we all make every day. So the only real question left is, what role are you going to play in it?